I'm your streamer and commentator, Deer Hunter 82270, with my co-commentator here, Adam Matz. We're here for Austria. We got a little bit of a short grid this weekend. We have a few of the full-time drivers not being able to make it, but should be very exciting. Austria is very fast, very technical, very competitive track. What are you expecting out of some of the drivers here today, there, Adam?
Based off of what I saw last week, definitely got a couple of guys in mind that I'm expecting to be pretty competitive here. Just hoping for some clean racing. A lot of the DRS zones here make it really interesting for passes, so hoping for some tight racing. Hoping to see some good moves and overtakes, and we'll just see who comes out on top. We'll have to see how these qualifying plays out.
Just taking note from the practice session, we usually always have to try to practice session and quali before some of these races and practice quali. Sparky was by far the quickest. He was at least 3/10 quicker than the next guy. And then you had Mr. Beef Baby, GK Phantom actually, and Switchback and Jamaican all within about a half second of each other from about second to fifth. So whether or not Sparky can execute and continue to show that pace here in this quali and show that he's the top guy is yet to be seen. But I definitely think the front of the podium-ish drivers, the midfield is going to be very close this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Sparky, obviously, our winner from last week in Canada, so a lot of expectations. Oh, as he almost goes off right there. Catches the curb on his outlap in Sector 3 and nearly spins it. But anyways, no, expecting a very strong showing from him. I know Switchback had a phenomenal drive last week, so hoping to see if he can continue that race pace and see if he can make a competitive lap, put a competitive lap together, a competitive race. But it'll definitely be really interesting, especially with all those guys really close together. I know there's a lot of clean drivers. I know they're also very competitive. So we'll see what happens.
And I do know some of these drivers who are going to start off on the soft compound tire or even the supers, because it is a very short track, it takes a little bit of time to get them heated up. But if you're starting on the ultras, it is going to be quite a stretch to get to the one stop. I know in AOR America, it was so difficult to do, but it can be done. But I'm still going to think that most of these drivers are going to go with a conservative strategy and do the supers to the softs.
That's definitely the strategy I think makes the most sense, I would say. Debating on just tire management so crucial in every race weekend, and Austria is an interesting one because, like you said, it is such a fast track. Super heavy on the braking, a couple of really tricky traction spots for a few drivers that run traction control. So there's a couple spots you really got to be careful for. And tire management is definitely going to play into the strategy here.
And we look at some of the first few times being brought up here. This is one of the tracks where you can do 4 runs. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody does that. Sparky on top of a 105.5. Ledoux, it's going to be interesting to see how he does here. This is one of his worser tracks, but he's still very quick and deep with a 106.1. Ezio, we would like to say hello to him as he's a new driver in the league. It's very glad to have him here this weekend. He's currently P4 with a 107.8, but definitely has room for improvement. As Jamaican has left the session, we need to get him back in here. Apologies for having to move away from the stream very briefly, but we want to make sure that we don't have the same incident as last week where he does not get to race because he is in the championship hunt. And Slingshot currently P4 now with 107.2.
While you're talking, Ledoux takes the provisional pole by about 4/10. However, he is on the ultra soft. Sparky said his lap on the soft, so a really fast lap from Sparky there on the soft compound tire. But Ledoux sitting provisionally at pole. Still 13 minutes left, so a lot of time left here in qualifying.
On board with Rage now, he's about to go on a flyer. He is going to be subbing on the Red Bull. We have a few drivers subbing for other drivers here. GK Phantom is going to be the sub driver for Mitch this weekend. And Ezio is going to be the sub driver for Digi's Proof. And I believe Rage is going to be the sub driver for Krob. So those teams still get some solid constructors points by having some of the other reserve drivers fill in for him in these seats.
It seems like Jamaican Ball is having some trouble connecting to the session. Just said that he joined and then immediately said that he left. So hopefully we're going to get him back in here this week. Hopefully we'll have a repeat of what happened last week.
Yeah, he is third in points, only 29 back, so it is crucial that he has a solid points finish today. And apologies having take away from the stream, having to get him back into the lobby, but we're still on board with Rage. He's on a very solid lap at the moment. Let's see what he can do coming out of the final corner. Let's see if it's going to be a top 5 time here. What will it be at the line?
Yeah, invalidated.
He was invalidated.
Yeah, at the beginning of the lap, the first turn went a little bit wide. A very tricky spot, especially in qualifying, when you're really pushing the limits to maximize your time. It's very easy to push it out wide there and invalidate. So, invalidation for the first lap from Trace. Looks like he's going for it yet again here on the super soft tires.
And to note, Rage is on the supers. You can do 2 flyers on the supers. It's just not very it's not a very good thing to do if you're going to start on those tires. I'm not sure if Rage is going to start on those tires. It's just not preferred. You can do it and be okay in the race. It's just better if you can do it on one lap. Currently heading through sector 2. He's a second up. He was 2 tenths down in the first sector, so he's got a big improvement. Let's see what it's going to be if he's going to continue on with the lap heading through sector 3 at the moment.
Pretty good through there. Final turn. Keeps it nice and clean through there. Clips the curb. BRS open. Time coming in. A 105.9. The Ranger. Pretty solid time there on the super soft tires. As we speak, Sparky, looks like, let's see here, Sparky starting a flyer on the super softs. So had a 105.5 on the softs. Let's see how much better he can get on the next compounded tire.
He was on the softs earlier. He ran that 105.5 on the softs earlier, which is very impressive. Let's just see what he can do on the supers. He was doing very quick laps earlier in the practice qualifying session. He was running 104.3s, which is pretty darn quick around here especially for a split 2 driver here. So let's see what he can do. As Jamaican is having connection issues, I bet. That's the only thing I can explain. All I can do for the guy is continue sending invites so he makes sure he can at least be on the grid when the race starts. It's very unfortunate to see indeed. But still on board with Sparky. He's looking a little bit quicker. Second sector, as long as he doesn't invalidate. Oh, that's probably going to be an invalidation. Let's see if it is at the line. It wasn't. He improves by just about a quarter of a second.
Yeah, not enough to top Ledoux. Definitely, pole position here is so crucial, as it is at any track. So still about a 10th down from Ledoux. However, Ledoux is on the softest tire with the ultra soft. So Sparky still has a lot of time to put together either a better lap on those supers, or he can put on those ultras if he's really fighting for track position here. Currently got Slingshot here on an out lap. The ultra soft tires on. Coming around the final 2 turns before the back straight, or final straight, sorry. And here he goes. DRS Open's going to start a lap right now. Here we go.
Apologies as I had to do a quick bathroom break here. We're on board a Drip Sing. Let's see what he can do on the run up to the line.
Ooh!
P2. Good luck.
Drip Sing with only 6 100ths off of pole on the soft tires. Phenomenal lap from Drip Sing.
That's a great lap. That's pretty darn close to a top 7, top 8 split 1 run right there on the hardest compound tire.
Yeah, definitely super impressive lap from Drip Sing there. And it's going to be interesting to see, if Ledoux, he set his fastest time on the Ultra. That's going to be a hard time to beat. If he can't get, a faster time on a harder compounded tire, it's going to be interesting to see how those Ultras fare compared to the softs.
And I just got word in the chat that Jamaican is having to hard reset his console. He's having the same problem he had last week, where he's just getting a blank screen once he joins the lobby. So hopefully he can get that sorted out. Slingshot on a lap, he's about 2/10 slower, but P8 at the moment, not horrible, but he's definitely going to want to improve on that lap time. But just looking through the field here, you can throw a blanket over second to sixth, and as I was saying, that second to fifth or sixth is going to be so close. You got 6 drivers right there separated, 5, 6 drivers separated by 6 to 7 tenths. That's phenomenal. And is my commentator still there?
Yes, still here. Just
all right,
tuning in, watching a couple of different laps here. Currently watching Sparky on his out lap.
Slingshot continuing with the lap here. Does he improve? He does, by just under a 1/10.5. It does not improve his spot, but it will increase his lap time. So with a few drivers left, that might provide him some insurance. Let's go on board with GK Phantom, one of those quicker drivers in the practice qualifying session. Let's see what he can do in the Ferrari. He needs to help out the Ferrari team as they're slouching a little bit in the constructors, and could definitely use a good run here this weekend against the Mercedes drivers.
Yeah, looking pretty smooth on his lap here. One of our 2 drivers that hasn't set a time yet. Other one being Switchback Racer. He's currently out on a new set of super subs. Slowing down here on his out lap. The Phantom still pushing. We're going to see what time he gets.
Oh, he ran a little bit wide through that turn. That turn is a pretty big turn when it comes to making or breaking your lap. If you get through there pretty good, it'll solidify your lap. If you don't, it'll be a little bit of a hazard. He can run another lap here if he has enough fuel running up to the line. What will it be?
P5.
It looks like it's looking like he's going to shut it down right here and have a chance for another lap. But right there in the thick of things, you got about 6, 7 drivers separated by just about half a second.
Ooh, Sparky goes in pole by 7/10. Mega
almost
lap.
8 actually. That's 3/4 of a second, and he still has time to do another. Wow, what a phenomenal lap! I wonder if Switchback Racer can do anything here. That was on. Was that on the Ultras or was that on the Supers?
That was on the Ultras from Sparky. Really putting in the work right there. Sending a statement out.
Switchback. He's only on the Supers, but let's see what he can do. He's probably the only guy I could think of that could challenge here, but he is on the Supers, so that's going to be a little bit slower time. Let's see if he can still get into that top 5 here. Is he slowing down?
Yeah, he might have invalidated on that first turn. Looks like he definitely pushed it wide just a little bit. So if I'm him, I'm going to do the same thing. Chill out, turn off the DRS, and focus on that next lap, making it as best as you can.
All right, Jamaican is requesting an invite. Let's all hope Jamaican can get in here. Like I said, he is battling for the points championship here, so let's see if he can get in here and be able to have time to put a lap in.
While you're doing that, I'm going to keep you on board here, keep the commentary going. We've currently got Formula Razor on an out lap on the Ultra Soft tires. I think Exy is on a flyer here on the Ultra Softs as well, currently sitting P8. And we've got Switchback Racer still making his way around the track. Probably going to start another flyer here with about 3.5 minutes left in qualifying. Oh, actually, Switchback's going to jump into the pits. Switchback.
He has enough time to switch to some Ultras if he wants to.
Yeah, that's definitely probably what he's going to do. Try to get the best time possible. So let's just go back here.
Going to ride on board here very quickly. Mr. Beef Baby, he's been very quiet so far this qualifying session. Been keeping his nose pretty clean and running midfield right now. He's P6.
Oh, Switchback
Switchback actually retires. Wow.
Doesn't put in a qualifying lap.
That's going to be interesting. It's going to be really fun to watch him go through the field, though.
Oh, absolutely, especially after last week.
as Beef Baby abandons his lap. Etsia, he goes quicker. I'm sorry we didn't get that on the stream, but he was quicker by just over 4/10, which will move him up into P8. Rage is on the flyer, I believe, in the Red Bull.
On board with Rage here. Locked up that front right tire on the way into that turn. One of our couple of drivers not using any assists here in F2. Also one of our F1 drivers. So our split
we only
drivers.
have 2 F1 drivers this weekend, so as long as every F2 driver finishes, they will all score points this weekend.
Let's see where he's going to go for Real Rager on those ultra soft tires.
Looks like a good lap, P2.
Ooh, P2! A phenomenal lap for Rager.
Half a second behind Sparky, though.
Yeah, Sparky put in a wild lap there. That's going to be extremely tough to beat unless someone just really hammers down and nails a lap. I don't know if he's going to get that taken away from him.
And it appears Jamaican has got into the lobby, so that is very good. Whether or not he's going to be able to get a lap in is, it says he's got a black screen. Oh, man, I'm going to send him one more invite here to see if he can get in, but I'm not sure why he's having these problems. This is the second week in a row he's had problems. And I believe Mitch hosted last week. I'm hosting this week, and we both have very good connections. So I don't know what's going on here with Jamaican and his internet.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can get him back in here. As we speak, we got a lot of drivers out on an outlap currently. EGC, Sparky, Trace, GK, Mr. Beefy, all currently out on an outlap. Where the Rager ducks
Ledoux goes quicker through Sector 1. I believe that's the quickest Sector 1. I think he went purple. Let's see what he can do through Sector 2.
Yeah, Sector 1's really all about nailing that first turn. So if you can get that really well, you can definitely set a good Sector 1 time. Looking pretty smooth through here. Little wide onto that curve.
Yellow Sector 3. Oh, but that turn, if you can use all of the track efficiently, you can gain a ton of time. 10th and a half through Sector 2. It wasn't the quickest Sector 2, but if he can hold on, he might have a crack at P2
okay, no,
here.
Ranger just retires from the session. Yeah, he was in the pits.
If Ledoux can have a clean and very well executed final couple corners, he might have a run at Rage. Running up to the line, what will it be?
Not enough.
Oh, by 2/100ths. He misses out. Actually, 1/10, my bad. But still a very good lap. On board with Traceman, he's on a flyer. GK Phantom, he's on a flyer. Mr. Beef Baby in the middle sector. E-Roads aborts his lap. Let's go on board Beef Baby. All fast laps will count. About 4 drivers on fast ones here.
Time has expired here. Let's see what Mr. Beef Baby can put in. Coming around these final 2 corners. Cautious through there, so not invalidate. It's going to be P2 for Mr. Beef Baby. Beats out Rager by 3/100ths of a second.
He does. Let's go on board with Phantom here. We got 2 more drivers left. But
Sparky increases his lap time as well, a 1:04.302. Absolutely flying.
By another, I think it was another 100th. What can Phantom do? P2! Wow! Let's see what Traceman can do in the Force India. He's coming down from F1. What will it do for line? P2 of me! Wow!
Super exciting at the end of qualifying right there. But it's going to be
4 drivers in the final minute each get P2 there.
But it's going to be EGC Sparky with an absolutely phenomenal lap time on pole position here in Austria. All right, going through the lineup, EGC Sparky, as we said, gets pole. Trace Me P2 with a 1:04.6. GK Phantom P3. Mr. Beef Baby 4th. Rager P5. Ledoux P6. Dripsane, the only driver on the soft tires, P7. Exia P8. E-Rose P9. Slingshot P10. Switchback Racer does not set a time, so he'll be P11. And Jamaican Baller, unfortunately, unable to get into the session.
Like I said, looking at that midfield, you got 2nd to 7th, separated by 0.6 of a second, actually less than that. That is so close, and one of them on the soft compound tire, Drip Sane. That was an absolute phenomenal lap by him being on the hardest compound tire. So it's going to be interesting to see him make his way through the field along with Switchback.
Oh, absolutely. So we're about to get set up here for the formation lap, and then we will be underway. Should be a really exciting race. I'm curious to see if EGC Sparky can pull it out for a second week in a row. See if he can really put some good racing together. Currently just waiting here for the players to join in. Everyone probably getting set, making sure their race setup looks pretty good. So do you think most drivers are going to go for the one-stop, ultra softs to softs?
I feel like that's what they're going to have to do now. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I see Sparky go for the two-stop, just because he's about a half a second a lap quicker. He might do that, but you got guys like Drip Sane, like Switchback, who are going to be starting on the harder compound tires, who are most definitely going to make the one-stop work. They're going to be able to go longer in the first stint and be on the quicker tires in the second.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how that ends up playing out. Could make it for a very interesting race. Formation lap is started.
Yeah, I do not think I've turned on a formation lap, so...
We are starting here right away. Very good start from Sparky, definitely already leading the field. Talking about the rear. Oh, Ledoux absolutely just punted one of the, I don't know who that was, but Ledoux punted one of the other drivers into the wall at the start there, really forcing his way through there.
That was my bad. I did not turn on a formation lap, but looks like everybody keeps it pretty clean. Like I said, there's a little bit of a punt. As Mr. Beef Baby is off on the side, I think he had to give up a few positions maybe. I'm not sure. That might have been Tracy.
Looking down the rest of the field here, coming out of that tight turn, slow through there for Exia. Sparky already pulling out about a second ahead of Trace. GK Phantom behind him by another second.
Just going through the cars here, seeing if anyone has wing damage. I do not believe anyone does. If anybody has it, it might be Mr. Beef Baby. It looks very slight though. Possibly.
Oh, Beef Baby goes into the rear of Ledoux.
Oh, this is gonna be a good battle here.
Tap here. He's pushing into his corner. Goes to the inside line. Later on the brakes, gets past him, pushes a little bit wide.
Oh, and now Raven's gonna be all over him.
Raven with a phenomenal exit coming back from behind Ledoux. Yellow flag, sector 1. Oh, Slingshot has lifted at the first turn. Back on board here. 4 cars battling for P4 here. What an absolutely incredible battle. Ledoux holds out for now ahead of Mr. Beef Baby with Switchback and Rager right behind him.
Beef Baby can't get around Ledoux. You got, Switchback coming in the Beef Baby. Switchback has already gained 5 spots this race.
Yeah, Switchback, that's what I expected from him, seeing him start at the back of the grid. I'm starting to think he just likes the challenge, but already making up positions here, currently sitting P6. 4 drivers get out. These guys are so close to one another. It's going to be interesting. It seemed like, let's see here, Beef Baby looked a little bit faster through these final 2 corners than Ledoux, so he's going to definitely want to be careful, make sure he doesn't get any wing damage, but here we go. Back at the start of the next lap. Let's see how this plays out on the straightaway. DRS is enabled. Trace gets his first penalty.
Let's see,
Mr. Beef Baby here.
Let's go on board, Beef Baby.
Ledoux's going to cover off the inside, but he's fast enough. Yeah, Ledoux's got nothing but to do. Oh, so he takes that really wide from Mr. Beef, but he holds the position. Now Ledoux's going to get that DRS right on the back of Mr. Beef Baby with Switchback right behind him as well. Oh, Switchback, has a look. Has a look right there. Around the corner, around the outside, Mr. Beef Baby makes it stick. So close. Switchback right on the gearbox of Ledoux. Looking at the front of the field, Sparky 2 seconds ahead of Trace already, with Trace already incurring a 3-second time penalty. So look at like a pretty
Phantom is
start.
closing in on Traceman.
He is currently sitting at 7/10. Switchback around in the back of the two. We're going to go back on board here, see how this plays out.
Does he make a move? No, he's going to wait for the straightaway.
Hold off of the DRS. Really smooth there.
Rage
DRS
all over the back of him.
As Drip Saint gets a 3-second time penalty already. Currently running P8. We're going to be nice and orderly through here. DRS open for the three drivers. Mr. B, who's having to defend extremely hard to prevent winning the pass.
He's going to go up the
switchbacks.
inside.
No, Mr. Beef, baby, good on the brakes. So close there. On board with switchback. So close with the front tires. Mr. Beef, baby, and Ledoux holding off.
Oh!
A little bit of grass there.
Ledoux
has to back off a switchback. Switchback is right there.
I think Beef Baby went a little bit too far to the inside, caught that curb, had to check up, and Ledoux ran straight into the back of him. This is
Rage is all over the back of Ledoux.
To close up. Yep, Ledoux has wing damage. He has to have wing damage. Got 5 cars battling now for 4th now. Oh, Drip Saint having to check up. Oh, he ran into the back of Ledoux.
DRS open for all 3 drivers. See what happens here. Mr. Beater is going to keep the position. Switch back just a little bit too far behind.
Oh,
they pushed really wide. Oh man, definitely probably got to be some wing damage there for maybe one, if not both those drivers pushing it super wide through there.
Switchback. Oh, Beef Baby is really struggling with those tires already. He started on the ultras. Those tires are about dead.
Ledoux gets a 5-second stop though for
wow.
Didn't see where he would have cut the corner. I'm not sure exactly where that could have occurred.
Gonna have to go back to the battle for 7 years. Ledoux and Drip Saint are all over each other. I feel like Ledoux has to have wing damage here, and he's just trying to hold on here. Drip Saint starting on the soft compound tires, trying to get those things worked in here. Should have a good run going down the straightaway.
I think he's going to hold off for the next straight. Yes, he is. Keeping it nice and tidy through there. DRS is going to
get a good run. Doesn't need to go wide though.
He's going to go right in the middle of the track. He makes it right on the outside. Holding it off there. Real nice and tight through there.
Pass. Oh, he gets a little loose. Ledoux's going to have DRS now.
He drops behind Drip Saint trying to get the slipstream. Drip Saint does have the inside line for this next turn.
Good pass. Good pass.
The Drip Saint's going to hold on to the position.
Back, though.
He's right there in the back of him. He's going to be almost pushing him. Push. Oh, Drip Saint almost loses it.
Right where Beef Baby had to check up too.
Ledoux gets past Drip Saint, though he does have a 5-second stop go penalty. All over the back, and it's so tight.
Such a good battle in the early parts of this race.
On that corner.
Let's see,
Drip Saint probably.
This time
Drip Saint's gonna have to look. Yeah, it's definitely way more opportunistic to go for the pass on the next straightaway. A little too short there to have anything.
He just pisses the back on him again. He's going to have plenty of DRS and DRS here. Oh, he's so close. You don't want to desync. Heading into the... Pushing him a little bit wide, possibly. Good pass. Will Ledoux have DRS, though? Yes, he will. The Drip Saint is probably going to get too far out.
Really good
exit for 4th now.
Mr. Beef all over the back of GK Phantom. As we speak as well, EGC Sparky had a 2-second lead, only about a 1.5 seconds ahead of Trace. So maybe our race leader has some other issues here.
Phantom caught the inside, he ran a little bit wide. Mr. Beef Baby's going to be all over him down the front straightaway.
They've also got to be careful with Switchback Racer. If they get tied up and start losing time to one another, Switchback's going to be there. Ow! GK pulls into the pits.
He's going to have our first driver. There's no way he can take those stops again.
Ledoux just got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So GK Phantom goes into the pits, dropping down.
He's 2-stopping.
Let's see here. Rage are pretty close to the back of Switchback Racer, only 3/10 behind with the DRS open. Oh, he's going for, no, backs out of the move. Oh, a little bit of desync there, actually.
Battle for P3 here. Got about a second and 3:10 separating these drivers.
Praise Me is all over the back of Sparky for the battle for the lead, only 5 minutes behind.
How has he gained that much time? He must have been managing his tires better. Sparky does run, I think, almost every assist, so that does hurt his tires.
Yeah, Sparky had a second lead at the very beginning of this race. Looked like he was constantly pulling away, but Trace, now within a second, he's going to have the DRS on him.
Let's see, he won't be able to do anything on this straightaway, but if we can get a good run through the first turn, we might have a crack at him. And do turn 2, a very good run, actually. I think just a time penalty.
A little bit wide there.
We've got a battle. Got a battle second up for P4 here. Switch back. Oh, Phantom gets a time penalty.
Trace not going to go for the move right there. Going to keep managing those tires. Really sprinted there. DRS open again. Switchback after the speed.
Too far back.
So close to Mr. Beef Baby with Rager not far behind him as well.
Let's see, will he go for a move? Oh, he's looking, he dives deep! Oh, moving to contact!
Very, very nice switchback racer there.
And he's only about 5 seconds behind the leader on the harder compound tire.
Yeah, switchback definitely looking really, really nice and tidy through here. Just got to keep the grip in those tires. Trace 4/10 behind Sparky. Let's see if he can maybe go for something here. Sparky a little early on the brakes there.
Oh, Trace is going to get a really good run here. He won't be able to do it on the straightaway, I don't think. He definitely will be able to on the other straightaway. He's going to wait.
Trace coming up so quickly through there. Good
exit. A good run. Oh, switchback! Switchback and Beef Baby make contact. He's going to wide.
Trace does get the move sticks. Now currently leading the race ahead of Sparky.
Oh my gosh! Beef Baby
might make a
back switchback, 3 wide!
Mr. Beef Baby and Rager both gonna have the DRS open though. Formula Rager might go for a move here. Up the inside, Rager! Oh no, switchback holds him off.
Beef Baby back around.
Oh man, Sparky also 2/10 behind Trace. But this battle for third is really heating up between Mr. Beef Baby and Formula Rager.
This is absolutely phenomenal racing, and it's just for P3.
Trace gets another 3-second time penalty.
Don't forget, Beef Baby and Switchback have a little bit of history of Canada. They do. They know how to race each other clean but hard. He's on board with Rage.
Rage is going up the inside of Mr. Beef. He's going to have a better line through this turn. And gets the move done. He's going to have...
retired.
Two has DNF'd. Let's see here. Race director. Incidents Ledoux. Ledoux crashes out of the race here with terminal damage.
Ledoux side by side through the middle sector.
Ledoux didn't get a chance to race last week, but I was looking forward to seeing how he was going to perform here. Definitely a tough weekend for him. Trace. Also, Sparky has got past Trace back again.
I feel like Trace is going to be very desperate to get around in here. I feel like both these drivers are going to actually try to stretch their tires enough where they can go into the supers instead of the sauce. If they can make it about 3 or 4 more laps, they can do that here. Traceman tries to go back up the inside.
On that first straight.
Oh, Traceman's going to have DRS too.
Really, really good move from Trace there, making it stick on the very first corner. A tough corner to make a pass on. But now Sparky's going to have that DRS. A 4/10 behind Trace might make something work here. Oh, no, too far back.
Back. You've got to be within about 2 Collins to even think about a move.
See here, Rage on the back of Racer. switchback, like we did say, is on the middle, coming out of the tire for the Rager on the softer one. So those tires have got to be 12 laps old now. Got to be losing a little bit of grip.
We do have an update from the do what happened. He forgot to brake very high into the corner. Evidently, he just braked too little and lost it.
So let's see what's going to happen here between Sparky and Trace. Keeping it nice and clean through the first turn.
Oh, they got a lap car. Who's that? Slingshot?
It's Slingshot. They got past him nice and cleanly, though.
Oh, it's Beef Baby's pit in.
Back a little bit. Yeah, Beef Baby drops into the pits.
He's going on the supers. I think he's going to try to make those stretch to the end. That's going to be very hard to do. 23 laps. That's a lot of laps to do on those tires. It needs to be down to about 19 to 20, but let's see if he can do it.
I'm on board here with Rager. Locks up that front right. About half a second behind switchback. As Dripsane behind him.
If that works out, and back to the race. Oh, Trace and Sparky both pitting
at the same time.
Are they going to go for the supers?
See here,
What's
Sparky. Hard to see in that shadow.
Sauce. What's Trace doing? The sauce.
Oh, and Trace gets out ahead. Switchback. It's a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So our current race leader with a 3-second time penalty.
And remember, Switchback is going to want to take these tires to about lap, if I were him, about lap 22-ish, 21. So he just wants to push these final 7 or 8 laps or so.
So Dripsane still on those tires that he started the race with. Locks up the front right there just a little bit. 13 laps old so far. Looking through here, Sparky's still really pushing Trace me. GK Phantom not too far behind Spark as well.
But Traceman's going to want to do this. He wants to stay out of him. He wants to gain as much time as he can, get out of DRS range, because he knows he has a 3-second time penalty. Oh, he's all over the gearbox.
Oh, they're right there on one another. Oh, Trace goes really wide through there.
Switchback is going for the 2-stop, unless he's going to go onto the soft compound tires.
Switchback is going onto the softs.
Wow, I thought he was going to make
he's getting held up in the pits. It's a little held up in the pits there. Or it might have been lag, apologies.
I thought he was going to stretch him longer and then go onto the ultras. Looks like he's just going to go from the supers to the softs. Surprising me a little bit, but he's only going to be about 6 seconds behind this battle as they're going side by side. Phantom's in the battle now.
Phantom right there on the back of him. Sparky with the DRS open on the inside line there. Trace on the outside. Sparky's going to go for it here.
This is all going to help Beef Baby and Switchback here. All of these guys fighting. The Beef Baby is closing half a second. Actually a second in just 2 sectors on these guys because they're fighting.
That's definitely one thing you have to be careful for too. You get so, enthralled in the battle that you're in that you forget about the drivers coming up behind you. You start losing time with one another, and you got another car right there pushing you through as well.
If these guys continue to fight for the next lap, Beef Baby's going to be on. He's gained a second and 3/4 just this lap on these drivers.
Rage with a 3-second time.
Oh, he went wide. Trace me went wide. Phantom's all over him.
Phantom's definitely going to get the move here. He's got the inside line. Hard on the brakes.
Is he going to push him wide?
Beautifully clean race. And Tracer on the outside. What a
And Beef Baby is going to get DRS possibly. No, he will not.
That was a really, really nice move from Trace there. Around the outside on a new set of soft. It's so tight through there and so clean.
And one thing to note here, Drip saying he's going to try to stretch those tires about another 5 laps, I'd say, so he can get onto either the supers or the softs. These drivers racing for the effective lead might catch Drip saying. Oh, his Beef Baby's all over the back of Phantom now. Every one of these drivers is going to have DRS on each other. Should be interesting. As Traceman goes wide, let's see if Beef Baby can have an attack on Phantom.
Now he's going to hold off for the second straight here. Trace goes really wide through there again.
Oh, Phantom's going to have a good run. Great run on Traceman. Will be able to make a dive in turn 2.
Gonna be close. Does he look forward? Oh, no, a little bit too far back.
Oh,
Mr. Beef Baby right on the back of Phantom. DRS
will he go
three of these drivers.
Surely he will. Now maybe to that high side, possibly. Around the high side, can he do it? Oh!
He makes
so
it
close.
work. He gets past Switchback.
What a phenomenal pass.
Mr. Beef Baby. Looks like Switchback's actually struggling.
Switchback and Rage is battles all over the track.
And this was one of the battles I was following earlier. Rage was really pushing the back of Switchback, and looks like we're going to have the same thing again after the pit stop. Our current leader of the race, Drip Sane, started on the soft tires, 17 laps old, with a 5-second gap to Sparky.
If I'm Drip Sane, I want to make those last about lap 22, 23, and then go on to the Ultras. I mean, because it'll be so quick. As Traceman gets a time penalty, but just looking here, Adam, what do these two Force Indians remind you of? You got Traceman and Beef Baby. Doesn't that remind you of... Oh, he runs to the back
Beef
of
Baby
him!
goes... Beef Baby not earned up on the brakes. Rear ends Trace me.
That leads into right as I was about to note. Reminds me of Ocon and Perez here. We don't want to have the same thing happen between these two drivers. It's already happening.
I'm wondering if Beef Baby has any damage. Went really hard into the back of Traceman right there.
And Traceman is staying within about 8 tenths of Sparky. He's not letting him go too easily. As Traceman runs a little bit wide. He wants to stay within a second.
Yeah, Beef Baby's still definitely going to have the DRS here on these next two zones. Trace about a second behind. Oh yeah, no, Trace isn't going to get the DRS. Sparky said Mr. Beef Baby's going to have the much better opportunity here as Trace drops all 4 tires off
chuck
again.
it in there. Will he get it? No, he will not. He drove it into that corner.
I think Beef Baby's just a little too far back.
And Drip saying he knows the leaders are coming. Oh, Slingshot, he's a lap car. He's going to let him by. Good job there, son. Let him by. Drip saying he sees that gap closing. Like I said, I think he's going to wait it out a couple more laps until they get right up to him, and then he's going to pit. Because even though he's going to lose about 20 seconds in the pits, he's going to be flying on the Ultras. And we got a good battle between the Force Indias.
Oh yeah, Mr. B backs off right there from Trace.
Oh, Trace
really wide through there. Trace is going to drop it to the gravel. Mr. B is going to get past it right there.
Oh boy, Force Indians don't have another incident like Spa between Perez and Ocon.
Trace dropping off a bit there. Doesn't
Trace has lit up those tires. But he has absolutely lit them up. Drip Sane's pitting. Will he go on to the Supers or the Ultras?
He's going on to the Supers.
Wow, he's going to go on the Supers. Power him. I would have said just 1 or 2 more laps. That way I could have gone in the Ultras. But he's still going to come out P7 and he's going to have a great shot at a top 5 here today. As the battle for P5 still rages on.
He's going for it.
He goes up the
he
locked up. Oh.
To the back of Switchback right there, but lost a ton of time.
That just shows the great driving skills some of these drivers have. Ray's doing a phenomenal job not running into the back. A Switchback.
Really good job from Switchback right there as well.
The battle for P1 is surely... Beef Baby got around Sparky! How did that happen?
He's got to be stopping again, though. He's already got 7 laps on this Ultras, 16 laps left here to go.
I do not think he can make that work. He can try to, but I don't know if he'll be able to.
Sparky's got to be careful, though. He doesn't want to be battling Mr. Beat Baby too hard. He backs out of that first turn right there, and now Trace is going to be all over the rear of it.
Oh, this is going to be a great fight.
He covers off the inside.
They don't need to be battling too hard. Phantom's going to be all over. Oh, they about touched.
Oh, my goodness. Drip saying is a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help in the final standing. Sparky gets past Trey's P2 right now. Ooh, Trace being really, really fast through there. Trace is going to go really tight on the inside line. Trace backs out of it there. So tight on that inside line. Sparky's going to hold the position.
They need to watch out. Switchback is on newer softs, just 5 seconds down the road behind them.
Yeah, Rager is all over the back of them, though, only 3/10 behind, also on the soft tires.
And Phantom's only about a second behind him also. Oh, it's racing me all over the back of Sparky. Switchback is closing the gap. He's only about 4 seconds. Oh, he's going down the inside. I did not expect that move.
Oh, Trace loses a little run there.
Also.
Didn't get a good exit through there. Lit up those rear tires. Mr. Beef Baby's right there on the inside of him as well.
Sparky's going to lose 2 spots and 2 corners possibly. No, he's going to hold position. Off. Rage got around Switchback. Wow. Oh, he does it back up the inside.
Oof.
You got Switchback and Rage going at it. They don't need to fight too hard or else they might lose track of the battle for the podium. Switchback back up the inside. They made slight contact.
Yeah, Rager got really lucky there. They got DRS off the back of Slingshot. Right on the inside here for both these drivers.
On different compounds too. I think Rage might have to pit again. I'm not sure.
Rages on the soft compound tire. They both are. Rages are about 8 laps old.
No,
yes,
Rage
they are.
is on the ultras. Switchback on the soft. So.
What were the Rages on the softs?
My screen is showing is on the ultra, so
interesting.
What's going on there? As Beef Baby pits. Wow, he was not going to. What's he going to go on? He's going to go on the supers. Wow, I thought he was going to go into the ultras. Where is he going to come out of? Will he beat Phantom as Phantom is coming across the start finish line right now? It's going to be interesting.
No, I think he's going to beat him out. Yeah, Mr. Beef Baby's going to be ahead of Phantom.
Yep.
As Trace is about to make a move on Sparky. Trace up the inside.
Oh,
really tight.
Again.
Pushes him just a little bit wide. Trace doesn't have the grip to just hold that inside line. So Sparky keeps the move, keeps the position.
Phenomenal racing from these two drivers. They're being so aggressive and so clean. They're rubbing. As they say, rubbing sun is racing. They're definitely doing that.
They need to be careful though too, because for Trace, Trace is one of our F1 drivers, but for Sparky, he's racing for everything. If they start pushing too hard and have an incident or have some contact, it can be very costly for Sparky. As he goes a little bit wide under the grass there, Trace's gonna have a really good run up on him in the first corner. Oh, he's got the move done.
A little bit of contact possibly. And Tracy's gonna get DRS, but like you said, Sparky, he has everything to lose here. He's the points leader. He doesn't need to take too many unnecessary risks.
Dripson gets another 3-second time penalty, back up into P5, ahead of Mr. Beef Baby right now, but gotta be careful on these penalties. Switch back about a second behind.
Back up the inside.
Sparky gets the move done again on Trace. That one corner is providing a lot of opportunity for both these drivers.
That's a very effective corner. If you can be able to get a good run through that short chute, you can definitely make a run up in there, and it's a very strategic place. But also to know, I'm not sure if Rage is going to be able to go all the way on those tires. Like I said, he may be on the ultras and maybe on the softs. It's shown on the ultras for me. But he's gaining about half a second a lap on these drivers, so he may be able to get there with them fighting. But if these two drivers keep fighting, he's going to gain about half a second to 3/4 of a second a lap here on him. You got a battle for 4th possibly between Dripson and Switchback.
Oh,
so we're going to drive it up the inside.
Right there. Dripson gets the move done on Beef Baby, a little bit wide there. GK Phantom picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, we're going to be side by side heading up to turn 2. They're only about a second and a half back on Drip Zane, so this is an excellent battle. Beef Baby trying to, or not Drip Baby, that is Drip Zane. I'm talking about Rage up ahead, my bad. Will they be able to go back up the inside?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's going to be close. Oh, a little bit of contact there, turns it early.
Wow.
Drip Zane turned it just a little bit early on the switchback right there, and they bumped tires, pushed Drip Zane a little bit wide.
Oh, switchback went wide. Switchback went wide. He's going to be all over the gearbox of him.
He's got to be mindful
went wide again.
So close through
Drip
there.
Zane's going to have a good run.
And Drip Zane on the softer compound.
Traceman's losing a little bit of time now as Rage continues to gain. He just gained about a second that last lap. As Drip Zane up the inside. He's going to have DRS. The switchback's going to have DRS on the next straight. He's low on DRS. So let's see what we can do here. Rage has a time penalty. Wow.
Switch back a little bit too far back on Drip Zane to get anything done here. Just have to stay within the window.
But he's going to stay within DRS. That's vital. He needs to stay within DRS, especially at this track.
It's currently our closest battle right now for P4 between Drip Zane and Switchback Racer. Drip Zane on a softer compound of tires, but he locks with the front right.
Now, I feel like Drip Zane is just trying to not worry about switchback and try to get the move done as quickly as possible. Just try to get on with it so they can possibly have a run at Rage for a podium.
Yeah, Trace definitely looks like he's struggling as he gets another 3-second time penalty. So I think that's maybe either 12 or 15 for Trace. Currently running P2. Might drop down, might get jumped by Rager.
And that could honestly move him down to like P6, I think it is, depending on Mr. Beef Baby's pace, possibly P7. So, very interesting. And Drip Zane is making some inroads. He's gained about half a second the last lap. So let's see if he's going to be able to challenge his fellow Red Bull driver.
Yeah, Drip Zane definitely on those softer tires, benefiting from those. 7 laps old for those, while the softs of the top 3, all about 13 laps old.
And just noting here, I wonder if Traceman, he's got the gap, he's holding it right around 2 seconds here. I wonder if he got his tires pretty hot there, battling EGC Spark, and I wonder if he's going to cool him down next few laps, and then start to make another run at him.
Yeah, that might be the case. It's hard to tell, but definitely losing a lot of time where he was. He was right on the back of Sparky. Now currently around 2.6 behind. He's a little bit wide through there as well. Drip Zane gets another 3-second penalty.
He can't have that if he's going to be able to. I think that's already 4 penalties, I believe.
I do believe so, and it's so hard when you're pushing, as hard as you can to avoid those track limits. Makes it really difficult. About 1.1 seconds behind Rager. Not going to be in the DRS window. Rager getting a little bit closer and closer to Trace. Oof.
And Switchback needs to keep his wits about him here. Beef Baby has closed in about 3 seconds over the past 5 laps. That isn't a ton, but if Switchback has more penalties, he might be able to jump him here. But you're certainly right. Rage is closing in. Like I said, he's been closing in about half a second a lap on some of these leaders. He might be able to be on Trace me here in the next few laps.
See here. Drip Zane less than a second behind Rager. He's going to get pushing as hard as he can.
I wonder if Drip Zane can get around Rage very quickly here. If he'll be able to make a run at Traceman possibly. They're not far back as they're coming up on some lapper. Good job, lad.
Let's see what happens here. Really nice there for Rager.
Good run. Good run by Drip Zane. The gap is 2 car lengths. About a car length and a half. 1 car length into the corner. Can he make a run at him?
No, he's not going to go for it. Oh, Rager goes really wide through there.
You're right. He's going to get the move done. Certainly he will. He will.
Now Drip Zane's he's going to have that DRS. Now Drip Zane's got his eyes set on Trace. Locked up that front right again. Really tough braking zone, especially if you're not running ABS.
Now Dripsane needs to be able to capitalize on this middle sector. He's able to get a pretty easy move there. He needs to get the gap quickly out to a second so he can make a run on Dripsane. He's already got it down to up to 3/4 of a second. Needs to increase that by a few more tenths to get out of DRS range.
He's only 4 seconds behind the leader. Sparky really needs to be careful here.
Now, I think Dripsane knows he has quite a few amount of penalties, so he's just trying to build as big a gap as he can.
Rager still in the DRS window. Mr. Beef Baby picks up a 3-second time penalty. Ooh, Rager lights up the rears a little bit, drops back. Will still stay with the DRS.
And Dripsane has closed that gap down to another half a second just in that last lap. He's closing in on Dripsane. If he can get past Dripsane within the next lap or two, he might have a run at Sparky, but he's not going to be able to get it for the effective win, though, unfortunately, because of penalties.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. This is a track that's tough on the track limits. See here, pulling ahead of his teammate Rager. Got about a second between the two.
Oh, 2 more tenths, and Dripsane will get DRS. 10th now. He just needs 1/10. Will he be able to get there?
6 laps left. These softs are going to be 22 laps old at the end of this race.
Oh, Dripsane's going to have DRS.
On board with him now through here.
But if he can get within about 4 or 5 tenths. Oh, we got a local yellow sector 2.
Oh, Exia spun it at the end of the first straight.
No harm, no foul. He's going to be all right. There's Dripsane. He's going to be able to make a move on Trace Me. No, he's not. He's going to bide his time.
Oh,
Lappers might play into a role here.
DRS open for Dripsane. I go for it on that corner. Get a lot of action there already. No, he's going to hold off a little bit. Locks up that front right again. He's definitely got to be struggling with the tire wear on there. Needs to be careful still here with about 5 laps left to go.
And just to note, even though they've only been battling about a lap, they've already lost almost 2 seconds to leader. That's how much time you lose battling around here.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Sparky's got to be absolutely loving this. Just pulling away more and more, almost 5 seconds.
I thought he was going to go around the hot side. He's going to wait here. Rage, he's going to be in the battle if they're not careful. Up the inside. He's going to have DRS for here, too.
Oh, they make contact!
Rage is going to be all over. Trace Me is just, as Dripsane loses the spot. What can Rage do on Trace Me up the inside?
Trace doesn't cover it off. Contact between our 2-1 drivers. Rager.
Oh, Dripsane and Rage. Switchback is going to be in the battle now, I think. No, that's
Dripsane.
That's 2 votes.
Oh, and they make contact. Oh, what is happening?
Oh, they wrecked.
Trace looks like it brake checked Rager. Rager went into the back of him and then wrecks out of the race.
Oh my, that is going to be some controversy after this race. Dripsane! He's in the gravel trap. Dripsane was just in the... Dripsane
retires. Oh my goodness.
Oh, he just got caught up in 2 other drivers' incidents. Wow. Developments in this race. That's going to promote Beef Baby to P3, switch back to P2, Phantom to P4, and Trace Me. We're going to have a talk, the owners and the stewards, with Trace Me and Rage there, because it was between the 2 of theirs disagreement that made Dripsane a Split 2 regular retire. So it's going to be definitely a stern talking to there. Wow. Can you believe what has happened here, Adam?
That has essentially given Sparky the win. He's about 11 seconds ahead as Trace leads the session. I can't believe it, both of our F1 drivers doing really well. Rager having a hell of a race and gets taken out by Trace.
And Trace Me will not get he's a Split 2 driver, but his constructor's points he was going to give will not count because he left before 90% of the race was complete. So even his team he's subbing for isn't going to get constructors. Just by
definitely.
That.
Yeah, very tough for him. It's tough for the Force India
But
team as well, but Switchback
this is
on
gonna
the
help
other
a few
on the bright
drivers.
side. Switchback currently after starting dead last is P2, but he does have to fend off Mr. Beef Baby, making a push on the softer tires. Mr. Beef Baby goes a little bit wide through there, gonna have the DRS open.
It's going to be a very good battle here for P2. Effective. Well, it is going to be for P2 here. Because the Split 1 drivers are out of this race now. Phantom is in P4. Trace Me, he will not get points. So Ezia, in his first start, he was looking like he was going to get a P7, P8. He's going to get an effective P5 here. Very good run on his debut. E-Road's going to get effective P6 as he holds Slingshot P7. But the battle is for P2.
Yeah, Mr. Beef Baby's got his eyes set on Switchback Racer, going through these couple of tight turns. Really hard to find the grip, especially once the tires start to wear down. Really easy to make a mistake. He's about 3/10 back. Yeah, 3/10 back behind Switchback. Already got a really good run through there. Backs off a little bit. Final two turns.
And just a note, Switchback and Beef Baby are battling in the points in P6 and P7, trying to capitalize on other drivers. And oh, Switchback, is he going to let him by here?
I'm not quite sure what Switchback's thinking here. Oh, he gets the DRS. He's going to get the DRS on the main straight.
That's what he's going to do.
However, Mr. Beef Baby on the faster tire. Oh, he's making a push for him now. He's definitely thinking about
Switchback.
the move. Nah, too far back.
Switchback may be saving some ERS. I saw he was a little low. Maybe trying to save a little bit of it, save his tires for a push on the last lap, possibly.
Mr. Beef Baby's doing the same as well. Really, really low on the amount of charge, about 15%. Got it in Type 1 right now. 37% for Switchback, so he's got to be saving it up. Penultimate lap
He's
here.
definitely going to have to. He's going to do it. He's going to save it up for a final push on this last lap here. He maybe got those tires just a little bit hot, hoping he can capitalize on this last lap, but he needs to keep it within a second. Beef Baby's going to take it out of a second, and he does.
Needs to be careful. It's good to see how these final two turns look. If he can keep the gap with him. Checks up a little bit.
Good enough run. No, he does not.
I don't think he's going to get it. No. Switchback's not going to get the DRS here.
And as we are on the final lap, Sparky heading up to the run to Sector 1. Who are you going to have to give the driver of the day to, Adam?
It's got to be the same as last week. Switchback Racer, starting from the very back of the grid, all the way up to about P3 now. I'm not sure what the penalty situation is going to look like, but Switchback running another phenomenal race, avoiding any contact, avoiding issues, driving really, really hard, and making the podium. He's impressed me every time I've seen him drive.
And I think the storyline after this race is not going to be Sparky building the points lead. I think it's going to be the fact that Rage and Trace Me had an incident that affected Dripsane, who is in fact battling for a good points finish this season. So that's going to be a lot of controversy this week as we head into the next race in Abu Dhabi.
But no, super unfortunate for Dripsane, super unfortunate for both our Split 1 drivers. Sparky's going to cross the line.
Sparky cross the line for a win. Beef Baby, let's see if he's going to get P2 with the penalties. I'm not sure if he's going to hold it or if Switchback's going to get it. We'll see at the line.
Switchback gets P2
wow.
off the penalties.
And
P2
Phantom.
from dead last. Phantom P4.
P4. Good run for the Ferrari driver. Very good run. Trace Me, he will not get points for this race because he is a Split 1 driver and plus, but also he's not going to give any constructors along with Rage to those teams because they both quit out before 90% of the race was over. So Ezia, let's go on board with him. His first start in the league, he was about a P8 driver, looking like at the beginning of this race, but he's going to keep his wits about him, keep it clean, and he's going to get a solid top 5 in his debut. That's a great way to start off his first race in the league. Very good for him.
He's going to cross the line here for the conclusion of the Austrian Grand Prix for BRL Split.
I'll take
really,
one
really exciting, really exciting racing. Incidents, passes, super tight moments. I mean, everything you can ask for. But a good win for Sparky. Dominated the whole time through. Was fighting with Trace. Sucks that Trace and Rager wreck out and Dripson as well, eliminated from it. But good race nonetheless. Good win for him. Second week here in a row.
And didn't get to mention, but E Rhodes is going to get P6. Another solid finish for him, as he's currently sitting 8th in points. And Slingshot, he needed a better race. The past couple of weeks, he hasn't been having quite the results he needs. Going to be P8, but that's not what he needed, because Mr. Beef Baby and Switchback are definitely going to be right on his tail here following this race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really sorry, excuse me. It'll be really interesting to see how it keeps playing out for the rest of the season. But a good win, good points haul for Sparky, and just going to have to keep seeing how the season plays out.
And let's get our podium finishers in here. With the win, Sparky second, Switchback, Beef Baby third, Phantom fourth, Trace Me. Since he's a split, one driver will not get points, so it'll be then Etsy in fifth, E-Road sixth, Slingshot seventh, and Drip Sane. Oh, sorry, Slingshot will get P7 here, but Drip Sane, Rage, Ledoux, Jamaican obviously didn't get to make it in the race. Those drivers will not be scoring points. And remember, Trace Me and Rage, because they quit before 90% of the race is over, will not even give constructors points to those teams. So let's get our podium drivers in here.
Before the podium interviews, I'm actually having to head out. I've got some pre-existing plans, so I'm going to have to hop off here. But super, super fun race. Another great week of commentary. Looking forward to next week as always, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Great to have you, Adam. We'll see you later. But let's get all of our podium finishers in here. We have Sparky, Beef Baby. We're just waiting on Switchback. Make sure everybody, please check mark the bots at the top of your screen in the party. Please, everybody, check mark the bots. All right, boys, has everybody checked the bots?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, let's start off with our finisher, and I'm going to have to be speaking for what Sparky says because he does not have a mic. He will be texting the information to me, so it might be a moment here. Sparky, great win. You had some amazing battles with Trace Me there. Are you pretty pumped after that win? It looked very entertaining. He says, oh wait, no, that's Switchback. We're trying to talk to Sparky here. So let's Sparky say. He says, Sparky said, yeah, I had a challenge. Well, we didn't really expect that. You had a half a second gap in quali, but you had a very good battle between Trace Me, Beef Baby, Phantom at one point. Did it seem like, he said Switchback had the best race? He did. Adam actually gave him the driver of the day, coming from P11 to P2. But Sparky, did you ever think during that race that you possibly weren't going to get the win? He says, yeah. Well, it ended up being a great finish there at the end. Do you know what happened between Rage, Drip Sane, and Trace Me? Or is that something you're going to have to watch on the stream? You're right. Drip and Rage, they were closing in by about half a second a lap there. But they were closing in quickly, and he said, ask them. All right. So, like I said in the stream, this is probably going to be news for the next week, is the incident between Trace Me, Drip Sane, and Rage. And as we'll get to that at the end here as we get podium interviews. A great finish by you, Sparky. You're going to increase your points in the championship and continue to be the points leader. Let's move on to our second place runner, and who Adam gave the driver of the day for the second week in a row, Switchback Racer, P2. Once again, we saw you battling with Beef Baby. It's going to be a good run for you, some solid points for you and for Sauber. What did you think of that race?
That race was very fun. I was gone for a lot of the qualifying, and then when I came back, there was like 8 minutes left, so I got on the supers. I got invalidated 2 times. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start at the back and get on new tires and see what happens. Then luck came my way once again. There was a crash at the end of the race. It was very pretty bad actually. And then you see Driftstain get killed in that by Trace, I believe. I'm not sure. I I need to see that again on the stream, but it sucks for Dripstein. I think he could have really got the driver of the day, but I'll take driver of the day. It was fun. Once again, fighting with Mr. Beef Baby, a really good rival of mine now, so I'm really excited.
And we saw you actually pull over there with about 2 to go on Beat Baby. Was it because you knew you were going to get him on penalties, or were you trying to cool off the tires, maybe save some ERS to make a run on him on the final lap?
Actually, I was actually gonna help him. So Beef Baby had a 9-second time penalty, and I had a 3-second time penalty. And he was losing time because he was behind me, so I let him go by, and then just tell him like stick with me, so I still get the place back. So he gets his third, so he doesn't like get down to fourth from GK Phantom. So it's kind of more like teamwork.
Wow, we didn't even think about that because Phantom was only a few seconds behind, but it was a great drive by you. We'll get back to you in a second.
Thank
Beef
you.
Baby, once again, you were battling right there with Switchback. Y'all become two Pete's in a pod. So what are you thinking about that result? It's a P3, but once again you finish behind Switchback. Is that getting a little bit annoying?
No, definitely not. I'm actually happy just to be able to finish on the podium. The whole like race and even in qualifying, I was pretty sloppy in my opinion. So I'm just happy to be able to get onto the podium. Uh, I definitely had zero pace to stick up with Sparky and Trace, but while I was up there, because I was on the two stop, I was trying to just get my nose in there to try to help out Trace a little bit. But I got sloppy and wound up bumping my own teammate. But we were able. He was okay at that point, and I was able to pit, and somehow I was able to make my way back up to a podium. I mean, I definitely didn't deserve the podium, but I just got lucky with the wreck there.
Well, I think I noted on it. You drove a very quiet race, until you got in that battle with Trace, me, and Sparky, and there at the end with Switchback. It looked like you only had about a P5, P6 car. Is this one of your lesser uh, uh, forte tracks? Because we even noticed in quality, you were very quiet. You were right there in the midfield, but you're very quiet and throughout the race, unless you got into the thick of things, and it was just for those few times. Does this track just not suit you that well, or was it just a setup, a misfortune there?
It was definitely a combo of like not being my forte, and then I didn't really know what I was doing for a setup till about half an hour before we even raced, and I feel like I could have had a little bit more of a less quiet race. I didn't realize on the start like we didn't have a formation lap, so I took it easy, and next thing I knew I was down to seventh. Uh, kind of caught off guard by that. A lot of us were, so it was kind of just crawling my way back through. It was so it kind of tripped me up in the beginning, but obviously like we were able to finish out with something decent.
Yeah, I do want to apologize to you drivers. I am not used to setting up the lobby. That is usually Mitch's job. But I apologize for not adding the formation lap. Rookie mistake
We're
here.
fine.
But you were definitely able to capitalize on other people's mistakes. They're beef baby, and you're able to get some solid points to P3 and some very good points to Force India. But since he's in
Thank you.
the party, Drip saying, can you comment on what happened? It looked like Trace, me, and Rage got a little angry at each other, and you were just an unfortunate victim.
So actually, kind of what happened. So I caught up the Rage. He ended up letting me by because he noticed I was definitely on the faster tire, and he noticed I was catching him pretty quickly. And as being my teammate for the race, he figured he could follow me through. So I finally, Trace ended up calling out that I guess there was a little contact with Sparky. He lost a very little bit of his front wing, knowing that we would catch him. I started getting close to him finally. And as I went to pass him on the straight, he said he wasn't going to make it easy for me. So, so then we went on for probably about another lap or so there. And then again, coming to the hairpin, or coming to actually turn one, I went down his inside. I tried to squeeze him out, but he actually squeezed me back on the inside. We got a little contact there. Rage came into the battle. When we got to the top of the hill, Rage went a little wide. He locked up. I tried to get a good exit. Got a little wheel spin actually. So then we all kind of were like one by one, but trying to pass each other on the second straight. And Trace, I guess, was from being wide, got a illegal overtake on Rage, um, and for some reason, not trying to say Trace is a bad driver or anything, but he just decided to brake check. Rage was definitely not expecting it, neither was I. So Rage hit him. After Rage hit him, he kind of came over, hit me. I lost pretty much my entire wing, so I knew that was the end of the race for me.
Wow, we were very uh, very unexpected that you were going to gain that much time on those guys, and so with Rage, it looked like you were going to have a very good finish there, but it looked like you just caught up in other people's circumstances, which I know has to be frustrating for you, getting in an incident like that as you're trying to claw your way up these driver standings, and you have some split one drivers wreaking a little bit of havoc for you. So I know that's very unfortunate for you, and we will definitely take a review of the incident and see if any videos emerge in the incident reports and see if anything is done about that. But just noting here to our podium driver, Sparky had a great start there at the beginning of the race, was able to get you out front, and you had a bit of a challenge at points throughout the race, but you had a very good run there. Switchback, getting another good points haul, but another great battle with Beef Baby. It was great to see you get up there to P2. Wasn't a little bit due to circumstances. It looked like you had about a P4, P5 car. You were able to get gifted P2, and same with Beef Baby there. You were about a P5, P6 car, but you're able to get gifted onto the podium there for a solid finish. So congratulations to all our podium finishers and all of our drivers here today. This has been BRL Esports Split 2 at Austria. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at BRL_esports. Check us out on Twitch at BRL_esports. You can check us out on YouTube at BRL_esports. And also at Facebook. But make sure to go on Twitter and look at our links for our affiliate sponsors. You can go check out Vertigear, Gamer Grind Co. Coffee. They got great coffee if you're a coffee lover. You can get a 10% off code there. You can get a 10% off Vertigear for seats to help with back support. I know me personally need a little bit of back support style racing. So it's a great company there for your back, seating, and just racing in general. You can get Rogue Energy. They have great starter packs that you can get there. They have delicious products, 10% off when you use the code there. And the Itemam, I believe it is. I'm going to have to check here. Into the AM, there we go. Trying to pronounce it correctly. They have great designs on their products when it comes to shoes, hats, hoodies, shirts, everything. So be sure to go check out our affiliate sponsors. This has been BRL Esports Split 2. We'll be back next week for Abu Dhabi. Thank you all for checking in, and everybody have a good, safe night. Thank you all.